a country like Argentina with fiscal constraints and dollar supply constraints as well, how should such an employment plan be financed?
Well, it needs to come from the public sector. And the reason is because the public sector is already responsible. The public sector is already paying the costs of unemployment and dealing with the public health effects with the unemployment.
That does mean that it will have a net zero cost?
No, it does not mean that it will have a net zero cost. And I don't think that should be an objective, to have net zero cost, because, imagine a country is plunged into a dramatic crisis and unemployment shoots up. What typically happens, the government has to step in and provide stimulus. It always is part of the package of responding to these crises. And we very often, provide very large subsidies or contracts to firms in the hope that they will create enough employment opportunities. But we have become accustomed with jobless recoveries, right? To jobless recovery. So what is happening is we do respond with the public purse. We do spend the resources, but we are not doing the straightforward solution. So there will be occasions when the public sector has to move into deficit. That is part of the automatic stabilizers. And when the economy recovers, then that expenditure shrinks. So it's not the size that it is important, but the manner in which we spend and the results that we get out of the spending. So yes, I appreciate that Argentina has some fiscal constraints, but we also have to recognize that those are largely political and artificial constraints, not truly technical, in the very technical sense that the public sector does have financial resources. The Argentine peso isn't pegged from the dollar. There are considerations about having dollar reserves. I can appreciate that because Argentina has dollar-denominated debt. There are multiple considerations, but you do have the fiscal space and in a sense, the sovereign currency power of the state to employ your domestic resources, locally, domestically, to provide unemployment for local production.